Our next item on the agenda is the state superintendent report. Superintendent Dixon. Let me turn you on, sorry. There you are.
Thank you, Chair Cummins. Today I thought I would spend time introducing you to our 2021 Teacher of the Year finalists. And like every other year, they're rock stars. This is the year I just want to give all of our teachers a giant COVID group hug and say they are all Teachers of the Year. The things that they have faced leaning into this school year have just been unprecedented and unpredictable. And I'm so grateful for every single teacher in our system. However, we have gone through the process of a committee, and as we review the applications that come in from the various districts and charters, this committee has made a selection of outstanding Teacher of the Year finalists. And we will be sending out to you a save the date. We're going to have an amazing virtual event this year, but I wanted to announce to the public and for you to get to know these finalists a little bit. So I'm waiting for Mr. Van Holten to put the slides on. And Jennifer Thronson, I think we need to mute Jennifer. There we go. Jeff, waiting for an assist.
I'm going to quickly try and find the slides. I'm not sure if I received any.
This is the Teacher of the Year for my remarks that you got last week. And they should be in backup.
Just pulling that up. One moment.
So I'll talk a little bit about the virtual event. Again, we'll send you a save the date for the event, but one of the advantages of not having an in-person is that we have more resources to put towards give some prizes to the finalists. So, we're always looking for silver linings for every event that gets canceled and every event that's held online, and we are excited about that we'll be able to give larger cash amounts and do some things that will provide support for all of the finalists. Jeff, are you having any luck, sir?
I'm not seeing anything in the backup on Civic Clerk.
Jerry, is there a way for me to project my screen? Okay, we'll get it up on Air Media. I'll drive. Could see me looking, couldn't you? Code, I can't see that far. 7125. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. 3108. All right. I feel like we need a drum roll. They're so amazing. All right, so I'm going to read this just for public's sake in case they can't see this, but our first finalist is John Arthur. He teaches 6th grade at Meadowlark Elementary, a Title I school in Salt Lake City, Utah. His students have gained national recognition. I'm going to take this off because I'm appropriately distanced. His students have gained national recognition as advocates for children and immigrants thanks to the music videos they create together and share on their YouTube channel, which is called Ninth Evermore. Arthur allows his students to take the lead in their work, coaching them as they craft their content and providing a platform for their work. After receiving his Bachelor's of Arts in English from the University of Utah, he discovered his love for working with kids while substitute teaching in elementary classrooms. Inspired by the students he met, he earned a Master of Arts in Teaching and a Master of Education from Westminster College. He's now a National Board Certified teacher entering his 8th year in the classroom. Arthur holds endorsements in special education and English as a second language to ensure that he meets the needs of every student he teaches. He has presented at conferences and spoken on panels for organizations including the National Association of Multicultural Education and the Utah Education Association, and delivered the keynote address at the Leadership and Inquiry for Turnaround Conference at the University of Utah. A fierce believer that educational equity is both necessary and attainable, Arthur serves on the Advisory Committee on Equity of Educational Service for Access for the Advisory Committee on Equity of Educational Services for Students for the Utah State Board of Education. He also works with pre-service teachers as an adjunct professor in the Graduate School of Education at Westminster College. This is John Arthur. Our second finalist.
Either I missed it or I certainly can't read that. So what district is he from?
Salt Lake District.
Thank you.
He's at Meadowlark.
I thought you said that, but thank you.
I share your concern, Board Member Lear, which is why I have it in front of me in larger font. Our second finalist.
Him for the Access Committee, and he was outstanding every way.
Yeah, they're all amazing. So we will do the big reveal when we have our virtual banquet. So our second finalist is Ray Boren. She teaches American Sign Languages for students in 10th through 12th grades at Copper Hills High School in West Jordan, Utah. Boren also serves as a lead mentor and instructional coach for provisional teachers at Copper Hills High. Boren first earned her Associate of Science degree from Salt Lake Community College and then her Bachelor of Science in Management from University of Phoenix. Boren graduated with honors. She was originally hired as a career and technical education teacher. As a CTE educator, Boren earned her secondary license and endorsement to teach ASL. She is a member of the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages, the Utah American Sign Languages Teacher Association, the Utah Foreign Language Association, and both NEA and Jordan Education Association. So that's wonderful. Ray Boren. And I should have said Ray instead of Boren was hired, right? We need to correct that. Our third nominee for Teacher of the Year finalist is Amy Grigich, I think is how you say that. She's a true Minnesotan. That's a good Minnesota name, with a Western kindergarten kick. Don't you love that? She is quite a mouthful. Mrs. Grigich is quite a mouthful for her young students and the state superintendent, so she is affectionately known as Mrs. G. Mrs. G graduated from Bemidji State University in Minnesota with her bachelor's of science and specialty in pre-primary. Her passion for teaching started in high school when she could sneak out of study hall and head to the elementary school to help her teach third grade. Her love of education began when she also realized that her theatrical talent could be used within the classroom. She began her creative talent 13 years ago teaching kindergarten at Stansbury Park Elementary. Each school year, she is transformed into a variety of characters such as Johnny Appleseed, a penguin from Antarctica, a 100-year-old granny, the Lorax, a mad scientist, among many other, in hopes of inspiring her students in learning. Can you imagine what a fun kindergarten teacher? Don't be fooled by her years in education. She is quick to find the next best hands-on learning tool. Mrs. G is constantly researching and exploring what will keep her kindergartners actively learning and growing in all developmental areas. She's passionate about each individual student and what they bring to the classroom. Mrs. G refers to her students as her school family. Her class evolves within a learning environment filled with encouragement, empathy, acceptance of differences, and most of all, love. She makes each student feel loved, and that's what Mrs. G is all about. Emma Moss has a classroom where students are immersed in World War I battlefields using innovative virtual reality, elbow deep inside a computer dissection, creating apps that solve real-world problems and engaged in civic discussions. Above all, she helps them see different perspectives and to be kind no matter what. After switching majors, Emma describes teaching as finding the place she fits in the world. She graduated from Brigham Young University with a Bachelor's of Science in Social Science teaching and minored in teaching English as a second language. Mrs. Moss began teaching in Eastmont Middle School in Sandy, where she now inspires students in 7th grade history and 8th grade digital literacy. Beyond her classroom, Emma Moss was one of 5 selected to update Utah's digital literacy standards. She's on Eastmont's leadership team, Canyon School District new teacher mentor, a Utah State Board of Education instructor, a representative on Canyon's Digital Leadership Task Force, and a nominated presenter at Open Educational Resource National Social Studies Conference. In 2020, Emma Moss was Utah's Association for CTE Education, CTE New Teacher of the Year. Moss's colleagues call her an outstanding teacher, and even more significant than her teaching abilities are her commitment to learning and love for students. She has an innate capability to inspire the most reluctant learners because of how she sees them, as bright, resilient, and full of promise. As a third-year teacher, Emma Moss is described as having the wisdom and savvy of a veteran and the enthusiasm of a rookie. It's a great compliment. Ryan Wells, or better known by his students as Senior Wells, is a Utah native with a profound passion for teaching his students at Taylorsville High School. Over the course of his career, Mr. Wells has fought for equity by building one of the strongest, most equitable AP Spanish programs in the state of Utah, and has worked closely with Taylorsville's Latinx community to increase AP enrollment, foster a college-going culture, and create an inclusive environment for students of all backgrounds. Wells aspires to close the racial opportunity gap and challenge systemic inequities that pervade schools across the country. He embraces an asset-based approach to education by celebrating the diversity of thought, culture, language, and experience that each student brings to class. This is a quote from Mr. Wells. "I was a troublemaker and hanging around the wrong crowd." Sorry, that wasn't him. Sorry, Mr. Wells, that was one of your students. "I was a troublemaker and hanging around the wrong crowd," wrote Wells's former student, Yoho Rivera. That's much better. Although if he was a troublemaker as well, look how he turned out. "I hated going to school and misbehaved in every class, but AP Spanish was the only class that motivated and intrigued me. His teaching style is unique and friendly to students of all backgrounds," Rivera continued. "With my low GPA and underrepresented background, I felt like the whole world was against me, typical pessimistic high school mentality. Senior Wells not only became my teacher, but he became a mentor and a friend. He pushed me to achieve greatness and success." Ryan Wells teaches Spanish 4 and AP Spanish to all grades at Taylorsville High School. He holds a bachelor's degree in Spanish and also in international studies, a master's degree in world languages, and is currently pursuing a doctorate in educational leadership and policy at the University of Utah. Ryan Wells. So there you have it. Now, here's our save the date. We will be announcing Utah Teacher of the Year on October 1st. And as I mentioned, it's going to be a very exciting virtual event with a lot of social media push out and some wonderful prizes for our amazing teachers. I just feel like I introduced you to the most amazing teachers anywhere. I'll stack them up against teachers across the country. But we're proud of all of our teachers and the representation that these finalists present for all of our teachers. Thank you.
Board Member Gravitt.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I was in on the interviews with these amazing teachers, and their resumes are not only stellar, but I am telling you, it was so fun to see them, not in person, but in person. I think at one point, Mrs. G brought out her collection of unusual pens with feathers and whatever. We laughed. These teachers are amazing candidates, and they were all excellent choices. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Board Member Davis.
Do we have, that's a board meeting day, do we have a time? I assume in the evening, but do we know a time that this is going to be held?
We will announce this during board meeting, it's my understanding, so we'll announce the winner. I believe the winner, or unless it's evening. I wish Robert were online, he could clarify that. Yeah, but it will definitely be a part of board meeting, and then we'll have some kind of celebration for them all.
Thank you.